Once upon a time, there was a sea king who had 6 beautiful mermaid daughters. When the mermaids were 15 years old, they had permission to come out of the sea. Each mermaid longed for this day. The youngest mermaid, the prettiest of them all, had always dreamed of the day she would see the outside world. And just a second. Hang on just a second. At last, her turn came. The sun had just set when the little mermaid raised her head above the sea. She saw the sky for the first time in her life. The evening star was shining brightly. She saw the large ship with the 3 masts which her sisters had talked about. She heard music and singing coming from the brightly lit ship. Then hundreds of fireworks shot up into the sky, which shone as brightly as though it were day. The little mermaid swam close to the ship, where she saw a handsome young prince. It was his birthday. Just a second. Suddenly, Suddenly, the sky became dark, and a dreadful storm attacked the ship. Rumbling thunder and rolling waves frightened the crew, but not the little mermaid. The ship tossed among the waves, and at length cracked and began to sink into the water. The little mermaid dived down towards the bottom of the sea and found the prince unconscious. She must save him. She held him tightly and rose to the surface of the water. By the next morning, the storm was over. The little mermaid found herself on the shore with the prince. His legs and arms were numb. His eyes were still closed. She collected some fresh water in a shell and poured it into the prince's mouth. The little mermaid looked up and saw a young girl in the distance walking towards them. She was a princess. The little mermaid quickly swam away to hide between some rocks. The princess was frightened when she saw the prince lying so still. But then he stirred. She said to him, "I am a princess, and this is my kingdom. I saw you were in trouble and came to help." "So you saved me," "Thank you very much," said the prince. The princess ordered her servant to carry him to the castle. The little mermaid was left alone, feeling very sad. Just a moment, if you can bear with me just a moment. Just a second. If only he knew it was I who saved him, said the little mermaid. Tears of pearl rolled down her cheeks because she was in love with the prince. Each day after dark, she would sit on a rock looking at the castle in the moonlight, but she never saw the prince again. Her sisters worried about her. They told her that she could see the prince if the sea witch turned her into a human being. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I like to find pictures, you know. Pictures are always fun to go with the story. So if you can wait just a minute. The little mermaid made up her mind to risk her life for the prince and went to the witch's house. It was in a dark forest surrounded by skeletons and hissing water snakes. The little mermaid asked fearfully, "Please, will you give me legs?" "I'll give you legs. In exchange, you must give me your voice," said the witch. "But be warned, if you don't marry the prince, you will become merely foam on the waves." "I understand," the little mermaid replied. The little mermaid swallowed the magic potion given to her by the witch. Gradually, she drifted off to sleep, and when she awoke, she was on the sand. She found that her fish tail was gone, and 2 pretty legs were in its place. The prince, who had been walking along the beach, saw the pretty young girl, and he came up to her and asked, "What happened?" All she could do was gaze at him sadly, for she could not speak. Just a sec. Just a sec. Like I say, I like to find pictures. It makes it more fun, you know. makes it more fun to have pictures. The prince took her to his palace and gave her a pretty dress. The little mermaid wished she could have told him how happy she was. As she was unable to sing or speak, she showed her happiness by dancing. Everyone was enchanted, especially the prince. Day by day, she grew dearer to the prince. He loved her like his little sister. Just a second. One day, the prince said to the little mermaid, I am going to marry the princess who saved my life. The little mermaid could not weep, but sighed instead. She knew that if the prince married another, she would change into foam the next morning. The wedding day dawned, and after the ceremony, they all went aboard the ship for a celebration. Hold on just a second. When it grew dark, the little mermaid stood on the deck thinking of the prince. Sadly, she looked at the waves, knowing that in the morning she would be just sea foam. One by one, she saw her sisters rising out of the water. We have something given. We have given our hair to the witch in exchange for this knife, they said. Before the sun rises, you must kill the prince, or you will die. They handed the knife to her and sank back beneath the waves. Hold on just a second. Just a second. I'm just trying to find the picture. Like I say, I like pictures. Makes it more interesting to see pictures while a person is reading, you know. The little mermaid did not want to kill the prince because she loved him. She stared at the sharp knife. I could never kill my love for the sake of my life. Farewell, my prince. Farewell, Father. Forgive me. Dear sisters, farewell. She cried to herself before throwing the knife and herself overboard to the sea. The little mermaid sank into the water, and all around her floated hundreds of beautiful transparent bubbles. She thought to herself, body? Oh, she thought this was her body dissolving into foam, but she found herself rising out of the water and up into the rosy clouds. The angels, the spirits of the air, were holding her hand and carrying her higher and higher into the heavens. Shining like a beautiful ray of light was the little mermaid who had given up everything for love. So let me tell you a little more about the Little Mermaid story in just a second. Hold the phone. I'm just looking for a picture here. So let me tell you a little something about the Little Mermaid. So some stuff that in the book I just read you. This is a Little Mermaid book that I have. It's inspired off of the Hans Christian Andersen story, but they left something out. You see, what they left out was so the Little Mermaid, how she lost her voice was her tongue got cut out. And that's how that's why she wasn't able to talk anymore, was because the sea witch cut out her tongue. And also, whenever she walked, the Little Mermaid, she felt as if she was walking on knives, which was very painful. So those were a few things that they didn't mention in my book, inspired by the Hans Christian Andersen story. Those are just a few things I left out that I just want to mention. But anyways, yeah, the true Little Mermaid story is a very sad story. It's a very beautiful story. I really like it, but it's also a very sad story at the same time. So yeah, yes, very beautiful but sad at the same time. Kind of a bittersweet story, because you see, the Little Mermaid dies. She sacrifices really everything for love of the prince, and then she dies. But then she goes to heaven. So it's a bittersweet ending. I just wanted to say a lot of the pictures in this video are drawn by somebody named Jenniday Spurin. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it looks like it says Jenniday Spurin. I apologize once again if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but yeah. So that's who the illustrator of a lot of these drawings are by. I don't know who all the drawings I found are by, but that's who a lot of the drawings in here are drawn by. So yeah. So I hope you liked watching and listening to my video, and have a good rest of your day, and thanks for watching. This is Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web, and you were just listening to Hans Christian Andersen, Little Mermaid. And have a good rest of your day. Like I said, this is Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web. Bye. Put any likes or subscribes, or yeah, feel free to subscribe and put any likes you may have. And thank you for watching and listening, and have a great day. Bye.